Hi everybody, Whitney Magnuson here with a fun take on wreath builder card making. So today I'm going to start with kind of the traditional way of wreath making, and I have my 4-inch template inside of my original Misty, and I have a 4-inch pre-cut piece of cardstock that we're going to be putting inside of it. So I'm using the stamp set Something Magical, and I'm going to start out with those cute little glasses. This is a new arrival to Unity, and I'm really obsessed with it. So I'm just taking my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and I am stamping those little glasses and rotating it around inside of this template until the wreath is good. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that little lightning bolt from the same stamp set Something Magical, and I'm using the color Prickly Pear by Gina K Designs. I thought this was a perfect color for that lightning bolt. I just love the combination. Alright, so that first panel is done. We're just going to set that aside, and I went ahead and I pre-die cut out a rectangle stitch die of cardstock, and it's just slightly smaller than an A2, and I'm going to repeat that same process. The only difference here is that I put a piece of purple tape on that corner, and that corner is the one that always needs to be inside of my template. So I'm just rotating it around, making sure that that corner is always inside the template so it creates a perfect even wreath. And I'm going to do the same thing, add that cute little lightning bolt with the color Prickly Pear again. We're just going to keep these the same just because I wanted to show you guys just two different options to create an A2. Alright, so for this one we're going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment right in the center of our wreath, and I'm going to be using the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink for that sentiment. So there is that one completed. Now for the second one, I went ahead and I cut a panel that is 4 inches by 1 1/4, and this is going to just perfectly fit across our card. And I'm using the same ink, VersaFine Clair Nocturne. Then I'm going to add some cute little stamp details with that lightning bolt, and so I'm just going to stamp that on either side of my sentiment using the Prickly Pear ink. And just to kind of make this sentiment pop, I'm going to use my Wow Clear Gloss embossing powder and really pop that up and heat set this. So once it's all heat set, you can see it's all glossy and pretty. Now it is time for assembly. So our first card is just going to be pretty straightforward how to assemble it. We're going to go ahead and mat this panel on some black cardstock. And from there, I'm going to adhere this to a craft A2 card base. Then finishing touches for this card, I'm just adding a few Nuvo drops to the corner. Now for our second one, so this is a 4-inch square, and we're going to go ahead and cut it right across at 2 inches. So we have 2 panels here. And I already went ahead and pre-cut this black sheet of paper to be slightly smaller than my A2 card base. And I'm just going to adhere the top panel on the top half of this black cardstock, leaving a thin border for a matted edge. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom panel. I'm going to adhere that on the bottom, leaving a thin matted edge again. So we have this panel in the middle, and I want to cover that up with this sentiment. So the black banner is 1.5 inches thick and 4 inches long, and it's just going to perfectly cover up that center piece there. And we're going to adhere the sentiment using 3D Zots. So once the sentiment is all adhered in the middle, the finishing touch for this card is kind of one of my favorites to do, and this is using Morning Dew Nouveau Drops, and I'm just going to gloss up all of the little glasses on this card to really make them pop and shine. So here are my finished cards. Which one is your favorite? Do you prefer the more traditional A2 or the one with the popped up sentiment and glossy glasses? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!